Two YouTubers decided to make their own Autobattler, SkyShard, and you might know them as RegisKillbin and It's Ben321. And what they've made is a city building Autobattler where you shape your own floating sound and then watch it smash someone else's. Or go up in flames. Now I put some runs into it, and the more I play it, the more I want to keep it. Well, let's jump in and let me know what you think of it. Okay, so when starting off, we can choose between two quests. So basically, we can get the first two weapons you buy, you gain compound knowledge. We're going to have to buy two weapons to fulfill that quest. Otherwise, we can go for infrastructure, which is more simple. After round 1, we get an item. After round 2, we're going to get another item. But I kind of want to go for two weapons. Before we start to run, here's how the game works. We've got 200 HP, we can lose up to 50 per fights. We need to make it through 16 rounds. The exclamation point is our quest, and our money is our mana. That's what we use to build our town and our SkyShard. The more we spend, the better we get in return. Basically, we want to go for weapon chop off the rip. Weapon chop is going to be extremely important because if we don't deal damage, we're going to end up losing. So we can go for a Firepot Trebuchet, which will target towns first. We can go for Tomb Tower. When any unit gets destroyed, this gains damage. Or we can go for a Fire Spirit, which will scale up based on how much HP this guy is going to have. Should we go for a Tomb Tower and try to get a bunch of items that will be destroyed? I think so. Now, we could go for Big Shop, Big Town, or Small Town. We kind of want to go for little shops early on. So steal 3 life from adjacent town units, add the total to this unit. Yeah, that's not going to be too crazy for us. Let's also go here as well. Give random friendly units every faction plus 2 HP. When a friendly unit attacks, adjacent town gains 1 HP. I mean, that's kind of amazing with the Beekeeper. I'm going to take that for now. Let's go hope that we get ourselves that Beekeeper, which we can get under Blacksmith. Well, I'm going to be taking it. That's kind of counterintuitive to what we actually really want to do. Now, before we move on to our PvP, we got a compound knowledge actually, which is going to be give a weapon to the right plus 5 damage for each friendly town unit, which is actually going to be awesome, but it is every 4 seconds. Now, the way the combat works out is we want whatever weapon we do once on the left side, and then every single item in front of it is going to be tagged first. The best way do have these in front of our weapon, so I'm hoping that these get destroyed first, more so. So basically, we're going to be tagging whatever closest to their edge of the island. So they're going to have their weapon in front. They probably shouldn't have their weapon in front, but perks of being in a lower rank. You're going to trigger every 1.0 seconds, 1.5 seconds, and every time we do lose an item, this is going to scale up in damage. We destroy the weapon, and we should have free reign on the rest of the items since we destroyed the weapon. If they had a weapon in the back, they could have actually won out faster than we could have bet them, because we would have had to work through all of these little tiny items and smashing. It's our first combat. Now, I kind of want to go for starter defense, and that is going to be shrubs. When destroyed, summon 2 smaller bamboos with 50% HP. I'll gladly take that. We could go for a big random shop, might as well see what sort of craziness we're going to get, and holy moly did we get craziness. I mean, we probably want to grab some weapons, right? Tier 5 rocket, weather machine, which will deal more damage for each magic or tinker item. When it attacks, it targets 5 random enemies and 1 random friendly unit. Damage cannot be buffed otherwise. So if we stack up a bunch of magic items, this could be insane. But Spellbound Rocket, 3 seconds, deal quite big damage. Or we take a defensive layer, which will summon multiple trees for our turn. I mean, I really like this, but weapons are going to be super important. So do we want to go for Weather Machine, or do we want to go for Spellbound Rocket? I mean, it's going to deal less damage, but it also targets 5 random enemies. But it does mean we're going to have to look for magic and tinker items. I think I'm going to take the Spellbound Rocket, place it in the back, and I'm just going to let this tiny little town be destroyed instantly. We're facing 2 ballistas, which honestly they need items around to trigger, because this doesn't attack until you trigger 20 items. So lucky for us, we're more than likely going to be able to win out because they have none that really triggers at all. And with our Spellbound Rocket dealing 150 damage, yeah, we should be able to shred through no problem whatsoever. But they're going to be setting up for an insane run potentially. And not bad. Also, we got ourselves a second compound knowledge. But I'm going to go for a big magic shop, see what we get. So when you have at least 3 adjacent cooldown units, each time 1 triggers, a different adjacent unit gains 2% speed, destroys itself after 30 triggers. So we can get a bunch of speed. When a friendly magic gets destroyed, divide its base stats over 3 friendly units. And then we also get the portal. Start a combat, destroy 2 random adjacent units permanently. For each one destroyed, add a higher tier unit to your inventory. This could actually be kind of awesome. I'm going to take that. Let's go for a bunch of random crap and get rid of this item as well. I kind of want to go for a little shop then. Oh no, that's a mine, which we'll do a little bit of chippy damage to us. We also got adjacent weapons at plus 5% damage. Any tier 2 stuff? Beekeeper? Well, this was exactly what I wanted. I kind of want to take that. Also, this doesn't actually work with these. It has to be town. So I'm kind of happy with that. Let's go for another little tiny shop, post office tier 1. Let's go ahead and let that get destroyed with the freaking portal. Now it is only going to be 2 random items. And that is a tree. I'm going to have to take that tree. Well, let's grab it. You know what? Give us another tree actually. So we got a combat knowledge once again. So this will give us more damage to our Tomb Terror. That I think is going to be awesome. And this is just going to destroy these units, which I'm going to be happy about. And this guy is going to be going for a max life stacking type weapon. So we'll see how that actually pans out. The more damage we deal to this guy, the less damage he's going to have. And whenever this guy gains health at once, he's going to be gaining HP. Now this also deals damage back to us, which is kind of scary. But our Tomb Terror has scaled up quite a bit of damage, and we lost our Tomb Terror. And this guy is dealing a lot of damage, and we actually lost this round. Holy moly. That's not good. That is definitely not good. Let's go for a big magic shop though. And that is a huge pillar, but it's also Warren's Flame, which is another weapon. We also got ourselves a prismatic mirror. So which one do we want to take? I mean, I kind of want to take the pillar. It is tier 5 though, but we could take the prismatic mirror and just let that recombobulate itself with a portal. I wonder if it's better to do lower tier stuff. So maybe just grab the pillar for now. And then we go for little tiny shops like this. And just let those recombobulate. Then maybe go for something like this, magic missile. So when this is destroyed, deal damage to a random enemy defensive unit. After combat, generate a tree or shub. You know, I kind of like that. Start the combat if you have no more town units than your opponents. If you have more town units than your opponent, trigger all adjacent towns. I kind of want to take the Arbalist. Yeah, I think that's going to be too good not to take. And I kind of want to get our pillar rounds with all these defensive layers. I also want to add this in as well. And then this, I'm just going to let that recombobulate. Yeah, I'm not too pushy about this one, because adjacent town units take 50% less damage. It is kind of nice, but at the same time, let's try to get a tier 3 item from that. Now the bad news is they're going to be destroyed from the get-go, so it is going to be super greedy. But we are facing an opponent that does have the Warden Flame in the backgrounds. That's good for us because this needs to be beside some defensive units. So we should be able to have free reign. For sure. This pillar is going to have a lot more HP for us, which should be amazing. And I think, yeah, we're going to speed this up because we're just going to win this one out. No problem whatsoever at all. We just need to slowly beat through everything. And not bad. Now we can get ourselves another weapon. First of all though, we got ourselves a shrub that we can be using with our portal if we want to. Start a combat, adjacent town units become magic. Adjacent magic units gain 25 HP. After combat, gain monies. Yeah, we'll be taking you. Wait, we need you to survive though. Adjacent magic units gain HP. We got a shrub. Each little shrub is going to empower our pillar. Let's grab another weapon. Once it got for us, an unstable Tesla coil, which does trigger quite a bit, but it does decrease in damage. We could also take another spellbound rocket, slow cooldown. Maybe I do want to grab the Tesla coil right now. I think so. Then maybe go for ancients. Yeah, let's go for ancients. See what's got for us. A clock tower. Start a combat, fatigue starts. You know what? Let's offer that up with a tiny little shrub as well. And yeah, we're going to be moving on. So can we beat opponents that does have their Tesla coil as well? A little bit of damage is going to be triggered faster. After every trigger, this changes damage effect, and faction. That's going to be kind of interesting as well. And they got a pretty nasty defensive layer too. There goes our portal. Well, can we beat down their defensive layer? That's 1000 life. We got a little bamboos that do explode into another item that will power up our terror as well. But they're kind of breaking through our stuff right now, and unfortunately, their defensive layer is kind of cracked. Yeah, it's way too much cracked for us, unfortunately. So explosive damage is dealt as a percentage of the original damage to all units primary typing. Good to know, Zap Zap. And we got the Lichwood Spore, which will give us lifesteal on our weapons. Kind of nice actually. When a friendly defensive unit gets destroyed, a random weapon gains damage. That's nice. And we also got a tree. When damaged, adjacent nature items gain 5 HP. When you buy a tree, gain a copy. And let's apply lifesteal to both of these items. Now, do you want to go for big ancient shop, magic shop, or let's go for a big random shop? And that's a big tree. Holy moly. Start a combat, friendly town units gain plus 2 HP for each one. When a friendly town unit triggers, 3 random nature units gain plus 1 HP, which is kind of awesome. We also got the Elder Dandelion, which will summon 4 trees at the start of combat, but also when destroyed, summon more trees, which is actually perfect for our terror. I'm going to take that guy. Let's go for a small magic, see what else we got. Altering Stone, this gains HP. Give a random weapon 3 damage. I might let that go as 2. Small shop. See what it's got for us. Magic missiles. Kind of awesome actually. Give a random friendly explosive weapon 1% explosive and 1% damage every 2 seconds. Not bad. When destroyed, increase the cooldown of random enemy unit. Give a random friendly nature plus 10 HP, which is kind of nice actually. Or give us some enchantments. I'm going to take the magic missile and let that explode. And that's just more HP. Let's just let those recombobulate. Let's get going. And Soul Slinger, this is going to deal a lot of damage. They're going to attack our towns first, which is not great. Let's get another weapon that is going to be trying to stun us. And we've got some items. But that's going to explode into small little trees, which then increase the damage on our tower as well. So that's going to be kind of nice. But we still need to break through their whole defensive layer. Right now they're going to be able to attack our weapons. We do have a little bit of lifesteal thanks to our spore, but one of our weapons is gone. 2 of our weapons is gone. It's down to our rocket right now. And we're slowly just losing. Which is not ideal either way. Now, lifesteal effects can add units max health, not just restore enemies in health, so that's good to know. But I kind of want to go for enchantment right now. It takes 20% less damage from explosive and stun weapons. Let's apply that to our pillar. We also got a glowberry. When adjacent unit triggers, add 3% of its HP to rightmost unit. It's kind of nice actually. Add more HP to our bamboo. I kind of want to go for production shop right now, so I'm going to go for that. I want to go for that because we want to be going for Spell Factory, getting some enchantments. We can get some crystals, generate a utility unit. I'm going to go for Spell Factory. Enchantments seem going to be cracked for us. I'm going to go for a small nature item. We got this beekeeper, which I'm going to let recombobulate. I'm going to go for simple shop, and I'm hoping that we get something amazing. Doesn't really look like it. Let's take the saloon and let that offer up as well, and we can transmute some items, which honestly not too pushed about. But I also really want to place this in so we get more HP on this guy. Start a combat. If you have more town units, let's just do we want to let that recombobulate over our beekeeper? I mean, this item isn't that great for us either, although we can still have this increased HP too. Maybe that's better. Yeah, I'm just going to continue. I don't really want to get rid of any of our items because we've got our portal to get rid of items. And this bonus is looking kind of scary. They got the tower as well with Stone Gargan, Soul Slinger. This is going to get a lot of HP as well. When it gains health, that's going to gain double, which is kind of scary. We kind of shredded the defensive layer. This is going to get a decent bit of HP, which will explode into smaller items. Even all the HP, this guy is starting to lose some damage, but you're also gaining that damage too. And this has got some enchantments as well. I'm really hoping that we do win this round because I do want to get our enchantments most of all. But it is looking kind of dicey. It's down to 2 weapons on our opponent's side and 2 of our weapons too. Come on, we got this. Let's try this Gargan. Hell yeah. Not bad. And we got our enchantments. And we got ourselves a weapon. That's awesome. We got ourselves a small shield. I'm going to apply this to our pillar. We also got another bamboo, which is kind of amazing actually. When the weapon drops below 2% HP, double its damage. I kind of want to apply this to a spellbound rocket. Got a shrub. Might as well place it in front. After every trigger changes its damage. Kind of interesting. Do you want to go for random shop? I think you go for a small shop for now. We're going to take this wizard tower, I think, instead. Although decent towns gain HP, I think I'm still going to take this. Because we can get a lot of HP from this guy. It's another big shop. Let's go for a big nature shop. More bamboos. When it takes damage, give adjacent units HP equal to 25% of its HP. And gain more lifesteal. I'm going to take more bamboos though. There's more bamboos because they explode into small items that will be exploding as well, increasing the damage on our entombed tower. Let's go for a big shop, big random shop, see what we get. More glowberries. If we win, we can get a mecha dragon, a weapon, more lifesteal. All friendly and enemy cooldowns are increased. Has this double trigger on our items, but we also take a load of damage. After a friendly town unit triggers 25 times, your non-town units gain 3% of its own base health and damage. I'm going to chance the mecha egg and place this guy in the behind. But I'm going to get rid of a community college. Community college, cauldron, and a shrub. Let us go for now and see if we're going to be able to beat this holy moliness. How do they have so much weapons? That's kind of insane. But we got our shrubs going. They're going to be attacking super fast. For sure, that's just the sheer amount of weapons. And you know what? It's kind of interesting actually. Just stacking up a bunch of weapons. If you can get a bunch of weapons, because we need a ton of defenses to deal with him. We do manage to win now. And we get some enchantments. And we get our Mecha Dragon. Whenever this speeds up, trigger it. That is kind of awesome, actually. Generally, we can speed up. We also, when this takes 25 less damage, to get 10 damage. We also got a big stone wall. And we're going to go for 2 more enchantments. On trigger, trigger 2% faster. Up to 10 times if it's a tinker item. You know what? Doesn't that seem kind of amazing with a dragon? I'm going to have to place it behind our inventory. Because then he triggers himself. Shouldn't he? Because he speeds himself up. And since he's a tinker, he should be able to max up to 10 times. It should be nice. And when you take 100 damage, to get 25 damage. Yeah, we're going to be applying this to our big pillar because that's going to take a lot less damage overall. When this unit takes fatal damage, set it to 1, works twice on ancient units. Do we have much ancient units? Probably not. Stone wall, another defensive layer I do kind of want to add in too. But we want to apply it beside our pillar because this guy is going to be huge in HP. When in fatigue, trigger all adjacent towns. I'm just going to let that recombobulate it. That could also be awesome later on. If we do try to get to fatigue, we got another shrub. Do you want to apply this to our weapon? You know, I'm going to apply this to our stone wall. And then also, do we apply this here? Or do we hold on to that? Okay, shouldn't have actually taken it. The big ol' yikes. So don't really want to apply it too much. Do we apply it to a portal? You know what? Let's actually apply it to a portal of all things. Or do we could have went for an ancient? Or do we go for a magic shop right now? Let's go for a big magic shop, see what we get. So, when you have at least 3 adjacent cooldown units, this will speed up everything. Well, that will speed up our Mecha Dragon. Because applying that beside our Tesla coil, our Mecha Dragon should be able to activate this guy so he can deal damage. He's going to scale up, but we need at least 3 cooldown units. We're going to have to move this guy up top. So now we at least have 3. We can speed up our Mecha Dragon. I'm going to go for a little shop right now. That is going to be 3 that we can buy and then also get another 3. So yeah, let's take it. Here's another 3. We can let it recombobulate itself and then we can just take another one of these as well, which I'm going to be down for. Let's also grab another 3. I'm going to let one of these go as well and just kind of just spread out everything also. Well, let's get going. I'm really hoping that this Mecha Dragon goes crazy for us. Hoping that it can basically self... Yeah, it's triggering itself right now since it is getting that increased speed. But eventually it does have a max. But it is dealing that damage and... it's still going. Not bad. And we do shred this opponents extremely fast, which is kind of amazing actually. Now, start the combat, gain 10% HP double on nature items, which is kind of amazing actually. And we got ourselves a big old mushroom mender too. Takes 20% less damage from explosive and stuns. Onto clock tower, which I think I'm going to get rid of. Another tiny little shrub. And maybe need to move this guy over just a little bit, move you back down a little bit too. And adds this mushroom melter in the front, so you should be able to stack up more HP. And let's give it more HP as well. And 20% less damage from explosive. What should we go for? Big structure shop? You know what, let's check it out, see what it's going to have. That's another portal. Graveyard as well. Destroy all adjacent units, resummon them, destroy this. That's kind of interesting as well. We also got the Altar of Demacia, which when an adjacent unit gets destroyed, resummon it with 10% of its base health. It seems kind of amazing. And maybe the graveyard is not the right play, but the graveyard also seems kind of awesome. Now it's more likely going to resummon garbage like trees and stuff like that, but if it resummons something like a pillar, bamboo, it's kind of nuts, so I'm going to chance the graveyard. If you want to go for a big ancient shop, I think so. And when an adjacent unit gets destroyed, stun enemy units for half a second. I mean, that seems kind of nasty. We're going to lose a tiny bit of HP on our pillar. We have all these defensive layers that when they get destroyed, they're going to stun our opponents. Now, does mean we're going to get rid of another shrub. And yeah, we're going to move on once again. But our opponents is going to have a decent few weapons. Not too crazy. We'll see how this pans out. We got ourselves another weapon, which is amazing actually. Another altering stone as well. This is going to potentially scale up HP for the rest of our stuff. Our pillar is going to be in the middle, going to have a ton of max life. That's a lot of defensive layers that we still have to get through too. But our Terra is scaling up as well. The Mecha Dragon is dealing its damage too, triggering every 1 second, which is kind of nice. But our Spellbound Rocket also dealing some big damage too with explosiveness, and I'm hoping that this graveyard can summon some bamboos or stuff like that, or even our Elder that summons more trees. Just shred the enemy units, not bad. Units can have their speed reduced by half. A unit with trigger speed of 2 seconds cannot go below 1 second. Okay, so we can't go turbo speeding. Makes sense. Now we can get a lot of damage on a rocket. 10% and 10%. I mean, I kind of want to go for that. Just a big explosive rocket. But do we want to go for a big engine chop? I think so. This is another Cursed Bell, Vile Totems, or Scarlet Leech. None of these are too fantastic for us. I'm going to take a Vile Totem. Vile Totem, I'm going to go for a small simple shop, see what it's going to give us. When the unit below triggers, gain +1 damage. That's amazing actually. Trigger random friendly town unit, stun a random enemy unit. Can trigger solo towns. Give a random friendly magic health for each enchantment on your island. Give a random friendly adjacent town unit a random enchantment. That's also kind of nice. I'm going to take Dynamo though. The Dynamo is going to give us scaling damage on one of the units. The problem is I want to place it on our Tesla coil. Is there any way we can actually achieve that though? It doesn't really look like it. We got ourselves another weapon, which I'm going to be glad to take too. So I kind of want to place that in the back as well. And Altering Stone. I mean, we could just let that recombobulate. It is a tier 2 and we could get a ton of damage. Unfortunately, it's not a town, so it doesn't work with the blacksmith. But if it was, that'd be kind of insane for scaling damage. Let's offer up a shrub as well. Let's go for smaller random stuff and see what we get from this. We got the Ritualist, we got an Emerald, which will give us more HP. And I kind of like that. HP. Let's go to Shrub though. Let's grab this. Applying HP to these units. We got a Transmute, which honestly, I'm just going to let go for now. Let's move on to our next fight. We got a decent few weapons. We are facing another Entombed Terror and a Soul Slinger. And they got those pillars too. With 1000 HP, they got some insane defensive there. I wonder are we going to be able to keep up with them? Maybe. They don't really attack multiple units. They only have 2 weapons, which is awesome for us because they have a lot of tiny little units to get through. And we're going to have an extra weapon. An extra weapon added in to deal even more damage for us. I'm hoping that a graveyard can just keep spawning items as well. And with our defensive layer just being destroyed, it summoned a bunch of tiny little units, which is amazing actually. But more than likely this is going to summon garbage for us. But we do manage to still win out. Hell yeah. Not bad. Adjacent units include those on corners. Hover over any unit to see what tile effects. Okay, nice to know. Deals 20% bonus to magic damage. Deal 20% bonus to nature items. Let's go for more enchantments. And this is exactly what I'm looking for. Trigger on damage, gain 5 damage. And I kind of want to honor Tesla. This eventually scales down in damage. Although we could do it on our Mecha Dragon with another Accelerate. But again, this can only go so fast. So I think I'm going to take the level up and I'm going to place it on our Tesla coil with the Accelerate on our Tesla coil. We get to get that going fast too. We got a big laser pointer, Bad House. I kind of want to just let offer up with a portal. This item has been kind of cracked for us. Another shrub we could get rid of as well. Laser pointer I do want to add in too. And you know what? Let's apply bonus damage to magic and nature items with our laser pointer. Let's actually go for a big magic shop, see what we get. Warden's Flame, I'm not sure if I do want it. Spell Factory for more enchantments. I'm going to be going for that. It's going to be too much value for us. Let's go for a big shop to see what sort of random ass crap we're going to get. Another item I do want to get rid of. Tier 3, all friendly enemy cooldowns are increased by 0.2. It is a tier 3 that we can offer up. That I'm going to be glad to take. Let's let it offer up with a portal to try and get a tier 4 item. Let's move on. Can we take on this unit? They're going to have graveyards. They're going to have a lot of weapons as well. They're going to have the Warden's Flame, which is going to have a lot of damage, especially with the Paid Inverter, with the pillar. Yeah, that's 800 damage on this guy. 800 damage is kind of nuts. But as long as we keep destroying the defensive layer, it's going to decrease in that damage quite significantly. For sure, but it's still kind of destroying our whole units as well. Now, Tesla Coil is scaling up in damage, which is kind of awesome actually. For sure, and it's going to super fast, half a second cooldown. Attacks multiple units as well. But we still have to get through all their defensive layer. They have so much HP, but we're kind of getting there. Yeah, we're definitely getting there. Big laser pointer, kind of smashing as well, and a rocket as well. And hell yeah. I mean, we dealt more double our opponent's damage, which is kind of smashing so far. Now, speaking of crazy, the sheer amount of enchantments we're getting is insane. Enchantments seem kind of cracked. I'm not sure what we want to go for. Bonus damage to nature items. Let's actually go ahead and look at some items first of all. Do we want to go for Ancient Shop? I don't think so. I think this time around, I kind of want to go for Small Simple Shop. And you know what? Maybe we'll take this mine. You know what? Let's take it. Do we want to go for more enchantments? I mean, we're going to get a lot of enchantments, aren't we? But I'm still going to take it. That's level up. Yeah, we're going for crackness on our Tesla coil. That's going to be more damage for us. This is just going to scale up damage by crazy amount. And more accelerate, which I also kind of want to grab and apply it to our weapon down below, but I can't see it. Or maybe we apply it to our Camille's. No, I want to apply it to our big laser pointer. Wait, hold on. Where is it? Wait, what did I apply it to? It's still there. Wait, we can't actually apply it to it. Can we hide this? Oh, we can't hide it. What the hell am I doing? And we could apply it to a graveyard to summon this faster. Maybe we actually want it on a graveyard. But no, let's do it to our laser pointer. It takes 25% less damage. Negate 10 damage. I mean, it would be kind of nice on our mushroom melter, but at the same time, maybe not, because we want this to take damage. So I'm going to apply it to our stone wall. Wait, we already had it on it. Well, it's on it right now. Now this item, I want to let recombobulate. We also got our Altered Demacia, which honestly, I'm going to keep in the front lines. Because I wanted to basically destroy all our mines. We can re-trigger once again. Now when this unit takes fatal damage, set its HP to once, works twice on ancient units. Is there much else we want to apply to? Not exactly. I mean, we're just going to start applying it to a bunch of crap. Let's apply it to our Necromancer Assault. Scourge, we can deal more damage to nature items. Let's apply it to our magic missiles, which is kind of interesting. And then Shrub, we're going to place in and maybe recombobulate. I'm going to go for a big random shop, see what sort of craziness we're going to get. We got another weapon, another pillar is insane for us, is it not? Start the combat, gain crazy health. I mean, 2 pillars together is going to be nice. Let's grab another one of these 2. Botanist will grab, we're filling our whole inventory up full of garbage. And so at least with 2 pillars, we should be able to get a little bit more HP. It's not going to be too insane overall. We'll see. Big rocket. No real other weapons. They do got their repeaters, that's about it. But they got a big town going around the power line, which is interesting also. But let's see. This is going to have 700 HP, this is going to have 1000 HP, which is not too bad. They're still going to have a lot of HP with these units as well. But magic missiles with the Altered Demacia is kind of nice too. But we are spawning our trees. This should be able to scale up more HP on our tower. That is going to get a lot of damage. The enchantments seem kind of correct. Especially with our Tesla coil scaling up in damage as well. This is scaling up not bad. You're also 300 damage, which is kind of insane as well. And we do manage to win out once again. And we get our enchantments. We take 100 more damage, negate 25 damage. I mean, it is kind of nice. Let's apply this to our Altered Demacia. Firepower, do we want a bunch of damage? I mean, it's only 12 damage. Not a whole lot. 9 damage on this guy. Let's apply 10 more damage to our magic missile. And let's start applying this to another pillar also. Start the combat, adjacent defensive units gain 20% health. Now that is genuinely correct. For sure. To the point where I actually just want to slap this in here. But that is an insane amount of HP. For sure. We also got ourselves a little shrub, another vile totem, which is also kind of smashing. We give more HP to our pillar down below. And then deal 20% bonus damage to nature items. I mean, we kind of need to apply this to our weapons. Hell yeah. Let's go for a big random shop again. That's another pillar. Can we take another pillar? I'm not sure. Start the combat, summon 4 TIE turrets. Destroy all adjacent units, resummon them, destroy this. Anytime there's units on the left, destroy them and split 80% of their HP, 25% of damage between units on the right. And that is just going to be another pillar. Stacking all those pillars. I mean, yeah, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. It's just going to be more HP overall. More defensive layers. Let's go and see what this random shop's going to be. This steals 20 health from all adjacent units. When this gains health, it is doubled. That's kind of insane. I kind of want to take that. And apply this in here. For sure. And I kind of want this to be destroyed. For Altered Demacia can bring it back to life. So we can summon even more trees. And I think that's going to be awesome. As for shrubs, I'm going to have to get rid of 2 shrubs with a portal. This portal has actually been kind of cracked, along with the spell factories. So production is extremely important. And holy moly, this is looking kind of insane. This is going to give crazy damage to all our opponents' weapons. So we got to destroy their town really fast. Otherwise, yeah, that has 400 damage. And it's going to be scaling up pretty darn fast. For sure. Yeah, this looks kind of cracked, but we're kind of shredding through their town. We destroyed their big tree. Thanks for rocket. But they're slowly getting through their town, and our defensive layer is looking kind of awesome. That's 1400 life. Yeah, our defensive layer is looking kind of cracked too. Lots of little units to be destroyed so our tower can scale up. Our Tesla coil doesn't scale up as much as it would like to, but we're kind of just shooting through everything else. And we do manage to win out once again. Kind of awesome. We got another accelerator. This time I'm going to place it onto a graveyard. Start with 10% more HP. Yeah, our mushroom melter. Hell yeah, I'll take it. Takes 20% less damage from explosive. We're going to take that and apply it to our defensive layer. Wait, I applied the wrong one. That's on me. Let's apply that there then. And the accelerator, let's apply it to a graveyard. Now, a clock tower, I'm just going to be getting rid of. We got a shrub, which we could get rid of too. Altering stone. Yeah, we'll see. Let's go for another random shop. I do like the random shops quite a bit, because we can get some weapons. Now, this is going to get some damage, but is it really going to be that great? This also gets a crazy amount of HP. After combat, generate a random utility unit. Production is insane. Trigger starter ball effect again. Any awesome starter ball effects? Okay. There is one crazy one, and I do want to take it, because I'm going to slightly move this up a little bit. And we're going to place this in here, triggering on our pillar to get even more HP. Yeah, this supercharger is crazy. Now let's go for a big tinker shop too, and that's another supercharger. Hell yeah, I'll take it, because we can trigger this on this giant falsa and our pillar. This is going to have so much HP, it's going to be crazy. Let's move on. This town doesn't look as impressive as the last one. It's still looking kind of crazy, don't get me wrong, and you know what, it could be worse because they have more weapons, more pierce damage. I'm going to actually start fighting. I want to slow it down. Okay, maybe not too crazy on HP wise. But again, they're actually kind of destroying a lot of stuff. Weather Machine is going to attack a bunch of random items, which is kind of crazy for us. They're going to deal some big pierce damage. Let's speed it back up. Back to that normal pace. But it's a lot of units they're going to have to destroy. But we also have to destroy a lot of units. Our Mecha Dragon still dealing damage. The Spellbound Rocket going super fast. Our Graveyard, honestly, is not going too fast either. But we do manage to pull through again. Not bad. Now, when the weapon drops below 30% HP, double its damage. Gain 10% HP, double for all nature items. Yeah, let's apply this here. Whenever you take less than 25 damage, we're also going to be applying this too. And we got a big tree. When I say big tree, I mean a little tree. You can give lifesteal if you want to. And you also got a big tower as well. The weapon drops below 30% HP, doubles damage. Not too sure about that. Structure shop. Let's see what the big structure shop has for us. So after combat, copy a random unit on your board. Spend mana equal to its rarity. That's not a replicator. Seems kind of interesting. You know what? I kind of want to take that. So we're going to get a random item. Let's go for a big magic shop then as well. So deals extra damage to units based on their size. I really do want another weapon though. Although, that is more speed. But I don't really want more speed. I do want another weapon though, that we can apply this to as well and just get a bunch of damage on this guy as much as possible. The only thing is, we need to place this in a better spot. We can apply a bunch of lifesteal to all the weapons being in here as well. And let's go going once again. Also, I'm only getting rid of a little tiny shrub, which is not ideal. I did want to get rid of Altering Stone, but it is what it is. What the hell is this, Fortune Teller? Kind of interesting. They got their own Mecha Dragon, which will be scaling up in damage as well. They're going to be targeting our towns. They got a decent few weapons as well. But we'll see how this actually pans out. A lot of HP on our Giant Rafalsa. Almost 3000 HP on this pillar. 1300 on this guy, 500 on this guy. And this is kind of looking insane, is it not? If we take a load of chippy damage, we can scale up a lot of HP. We lost a lot of backline units, which is not ideal either, because we could be in trouble with our Tesla coil, but we're slowly getting through all the items. We still have a huge defensive layer, and here's the guy, the Fatigue Wizard, helping us out to win. And honestly, this is our last round. And in doing so, we dealt 20k damage, and our opponent dealt 11k damage. And that's that. We got a 16 victories, 13 wins, and we have gained some rating changes. And survival bonus gave us a little bit more too. But yeah, this game was actually a lot of fun, and if you think you'll enjoy it too, go check out the demo. The link is in the description below, or head over to their Steam page. If you want to keep up to date with the full release, don't forget to wishlist it. Anyways, thanks for watching, and as always, I hope you keep a lookout for the next one. I'll see you next time.